Hi everyone, it's Eimear from Kilbeggan Physio again. So it's just started to snow again outside, so I said I'd do another video. We're going to start working on some sideline work for the hip. So some of my clients love these few exercises that we're going to do with you today. It's a lovely little sequence, especially if you do notice that you have any pelvic pain, any lower back pain. It's a really great little sequence of exercises to really start strengthening up that spine. So to begin with, if you do have a towel or a pillow, it can be quite useful if you do have any shoulder or neck trouble. So we're going to start off lying on our side with one arm extended up overhead. The hips are stacked one on top of the other. The shoulders are stacked as well. Now if you do have any balance issues, pop your hand onto the floor in front, just the fingertips, so no flat hand just yet, if you do need any balance support. Otherwise, keeping the hand up onto the hip. Feet are flexed from this position. Now in this position, we're going to work really hard. We're going to lift those rib cages up away from the floor so that we've got a nice little gap between our rib cage and the mat. Now this is important for activating those oblique muscles. The oblique muscles are really important because they get a great connection from the oblique muscles to the pelvic floor. Can really help to strengthen up that lower back area. So we're going to begin keeping that rib cage engaged and lifted away from the floor. As we lift the top leg up, we're going to breathe out. Breathe in as you lower. Keeping nice and controlled, keeping the rib cage engaged. Breathing out as you lift, breathing in as you lower down. Good. So we're going to do about 12 of each, and we're going to work on both legs. Four more. Last one. And relax. From this position, we're going to draw our two knees up to hip height. I find if you're using a mat, it's really useful just to keep your shins running along the length of the front of your mat so that you can ensure that your position is correct. So the knees are up at hip height, feet are flexed toward the front of your mat. Again, our rib cage is engaged, so it's lifted away from that mat. We're going to hover that top knee up. We're going to do our side kick. So we're going to breathe out as you lengthen the leg, breathe in as you return back. So the teaching points on this one, we're keeping everything in line with the hip. So imagine that you're working in one plane of movement, breathing out as you lengthen, breathing in as you return back. Keeping those ribs engaged, lifted toward the ceiling throughout. Good work. You can start feeling the hips, all the muscles around that hip joint starting to engage then. Again, we're going to do about 12 on this one. So some things just to be aware of, making sure you're not bringing the foot up too high, making sure you're not letting the knee drop down in the middle, keeping everything in a nice, neutral line with the hip. Last two. And one. And relax back down. And allow that rib cage to relax. So we're going to take a breath in. For our next exercise, we're going to do leg circles with this top leg. To begin, we hover the knee up. We're going to straighten it down. On this one, I find to keep the foot flexed works a little bit better. If you find it's too much, you can point the toes down. Again, we're going to engage that rib cage, lift the ribs away from the mat, so you've got that nice gap here again between yourself and the mat. And we're going to just draw circles going backwards behind us first. Doesn't matter how big or how small the circle is, once you feel that the muscles in the hip are working, you work at your own pace. Breathing out as you lift the leg away from the body, breathing in as it comes back to center. Change direction. keeping those ribs engaged. Three more. 2 and 1. And relax again. Give that hip a rub if you need at any point if it does start getting a bit achy. So from this one, we're then going to go and do our leg side kick with a little bit of pendulum with it. So on this exercise, we're going to hover that top knee up. So we're keeping the hip in line with the knee and with the ankle. We start off with this bent knee position. We're going to engage those rib cages again. We're going to breathe out. This time we're going to bring the heel to the back of our mat as we breathe out. Breathe in, draw the knee back up. Good. So at this point we really should be feeling those glutes kicking in. Two more. And last one. And relax again. Again, soften those ribs back to the mat and give that hip a rub if you do need. So the last one in this sequence for the glutes on our left leg, we're going to take our top hand, so our resting hand, just nice and relaxed onto the floor in front. The wrist is always going to be below the elbow. We're going to bring that top knee up to marry with that elbow. We've engaged the ribs away from the mat again, and this time we're going to do a high kick. So we're going to breathe out as we kick up to where the wall meets the ceiling. Breathe in as you bring the knee back to the elbow. I like to keep the foot flexed on this one. Breathing out as you lengthen. Pressing through the heel. And with this one you will find it's a little bit harder to keep that rib cage engaged and lifted toward the ceiling. Good. Four more. Three more. Two more. And last one. And relax back down. And give that hip a good rub. So to finish up in this position, I always do our arm openings because it just helps us stretch those glutes as well. So draw your two hands out in front. Your head is resting onto your pillow or your towel or just onto the mat. As we breathe out, we're going to bring that top hand all the way up and over into that open position, allowing your head and neck to roll with the movement. Breathing in as we close back over. So we keep our knees tucked into our chest on this one, so that we're getting a true opening of the thoracic. So it's a really nice stretch for the front of the chest. And back in. I'm going to come back up into sitting. And we're just going to stretch out our piriformis on this left leg. So we're going to lengthen out the right leg, bring your left foot on top of the right thigh, making sure you don't have it directly over the knee. And we're just pressing that left knee down toward the mat. And we're going to draw that knee up. Bring the left foot to the outside of the right knee. Your right elbow comes to the outside of the left knee. And we're just rotating around. So we're just stretching through the abductors here. And that's the left hip done. We now have to do the right hip. So what I'd suggest is starting this video over again. Hope that's a little bit of help in terms of starting to strengthen your glutes a little bit more if you do find that they're a problematic area. Really great for anyone that plays any field sports as well. Nice little sequence just to strengthen up those glutes. So we'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.